Hello, and welcome to Audio for Musicians. Today, I want to show you how to use your Zoom recorder on your computer as an interface. You'll see here that I have two Zoom recorders here. I have an H1N, which is sort of their entry level. It's a stereo mic, 2 input, 2 output. It's nice because you have this mic input, line input from something else, say if you're working with a mixing board or so. It's got headphone jacks, but more importantly for us, it has USB. On that USB is super important for us, okay? Now I really like this recorder. It's great for throwing in my bag and just bringing it to all my lessons and such. The other one that I have here is a more enthusiast grade recorder. It's their Zoom H5. You can see it has an interesting capsule system where you can change out the different capsules for either not just the XY configuration, but you can also have a mid-side recording, which allows for better mono. If you're getting into podcasting, and I'll have a video on that eventually. But also it has a line in here as well. But importantly on this one, we have the XLR combo inputs for plugging in, say, guitars or really nice mics. But also has that headphone jack, and super importantly, it has a USB cable. Now the only difference between these two are the USB that it takes. The Zoom recorder takes a micro. The H5 takes a mini USB. You can see they're different in their sizes and such. You've probably seen them before and just never given them a name. Anyways, let's hook one up and see what happens, okay? So I'm going to start with it off, and it's currently plugged into the computer, but it's not plugged into the Zoom right now, the USB, okay? I'm going to plug the USB into the recorder, and the recorder is still off. And if you press the record button, you'll see it lights up. And you get two options. You get audio IF, which stands for interface, and then card reader. Card reader is good if you have the, wherever it is, there it is, the micro SD card in here, and you just want to pull files off of it and you don't have a micro SD card reader, okay? But what we want right now is audio interface, okay? We're just going to press the auto level button, which stands for the fourth option here, which it means go forward. And since I'm using a Mac in this case, I'm using a MacBook running Catalina, I'm going to press PC Mac, okay? Okay, so I choose bus power, and that means that it's going to power itself off of the USB connection, okay? And you can see right now that we're starting to get some levels. Oh, that is if we turn off auto level. I can adjust it, and you'll see the meters jumping up and down, okay, as we speak. And also importantly is that now it comes up in my audio, and I can select it as an output, but if you press the Alt button and then the little speaker, you can choose it also for your input device, okay? You can also do this by going to Sound Preferences, and for output, choose the one that you want, and for input, choose the one that you want. And you'll see that now as I tap on the mic, you can see that the input levels come up. And then this way, if I were just to do a quick recording with it, see, just tapping on it means that I can take my voice memos and it goes straight to my computer, okay? That's a pretty cool feature. Now if I were to go to the internal microphone, it starts picking up my voice again, but notice how tapping on the mic doesn't really pick it up. but to selecting it an input, it starts coming up again, okay? And that's how you use your Zoom H1N with the computer. So right now I'm going to switch over to the H5, and it's a similar deal. I'll just plug it into the Zoom with the recorder off, and then you start turning it on, and it'll give you a loading screen. And you get the same options. You get these audio interface, an SD card reader, but of course now they're in opposite places. I'm going to hit audio interface. And for now I could do stereo or multi-track. I'll just do stereo just for the sake of purpose for this video. And I'll do bus powered as well. Okay. And so here, just like if we're in record mode, I can choose which mics I'd like to use. Now 1 and 2 are going to be the XLR, and left, right are going to be our capsules up here. But you'll notice I have some options in the menu. I can turn on and off the phantom power. I can use plug-in power for the input. Say if I'm using a lavalier that might require plug-in power, like I'm using right now, you can see. And you get some things like mid-side matrix, and you can direct monitor if you're listening on the headphones. And then when you're in here, notice that we've got interface and that there's no battery level. That means that it's bus powered. And so if I go over to my sound, I have H5 this time. And so let's choose H5, and you'll notice I can choose my gain, and I went down to 0, and now the computer doesn't hear anything. But if I gain it up all the way to 10, notice that the input level changes. So I found my Zoom H2, which I think was Zoom's first multi-track recorder. You can see it says 4-channel surround. And it's cool because it had these front and back capsules. They sounded pretty decent. But I want to show you how to use this with your computer as well. Okay, so the USB cable is currently plugged into the computer. My Zoom is currently off, and notice that the on switch is currently, well, can power it off. Let's do that. And then we're going to take the USB, we're going to plug it in, and it just automatically comes on. Okay? It's a little finicky, but you can see when you press the left and right buttons, the little caret on the left-hand side of the screen changes. You can choose storage or audio interface. So I'm going to go to audio interface, and I'm going to press the record button right in the middle to select it. And then I'm going to choose the frequency that I want. I usually record videos, so I want 48 kilohertz as opposed to 44.1, which is audio, CD quality. And then I just go to connect. Okay, and using the record button to choose that. You can still choose which set of mics you want to use. For me, I'm probably going to use the front ones, which are facing me right now. And I can choose my gain. So if I go to my sound preferences, you can see that I've got my output, H2 audio out, and my input, H2 audio in. And if I plug in some headphones, I can hear myself through my Zoom. And that's how you use your Zoom H2 as an audio interface. Now in Zoom, in audio, you just do the same thing. You choose your speaker, you choose your microphone, So if we go to advanced, make sure you get this top original sound option. And if we take out audio processing, take out the suppress persistent background noise and intermittent background noise. We'll go into microphone, and we can choose our H5, and same with the speaker. And unfortunately, I don't have headphones plugged in right now, but if I did, I would be able to hear them. But that's how you use your Zoom with Zoom. Thanks for joining me, and I hope this tutorial was helpful to you. Check back on our Facebook page for more information. That's facebook.com/audio for musicians. And if you have any questions, please drop me a line, and I'm more than happy to make a video or just have a chat with you and walk you through what you need. All right? Happy practicing.